and welcome to Valuechain News. I am Naomi Oleribe. First, the headlines. Fuel scarcity, federal government approves upward review of freight rates for marketers. Oil-fueled bids, NUPRC to award licenses transparently. Finland expresses interest in Nigeria's gas deposits. And now, the news in detail. The federal government on Thursday approved the upward review in freight rates for transporters to help alleviate the challenges associated with distribution of petroleum products nationwide. The revised freight rate takes effect from June 1st, while the pump price of petrol remains at 165 naira per litre. A statement by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority (NMDPRA) said, adding that the approval was granted after due consultations with stakeholders. It said the review was necessitated by the upswing in the global price of petroleum products, especially diesel, and its implication on the cost of transporting petrol nationwide. The development came after the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners (NATO) asked for an increase in the freight rate for petrol due to the high cost of diesel in the country. In May, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria (IPMAN) claimed that the government owed its members ₹500 billion naira. However, the NMDPRA told journalists that it had paid oil marketers bridging claims of about 59 billion naira in 5 months. As the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission (NUPRC) plans to close out on the 2020 Marginal Fuels Bid Round (MFBR), the Commission has insisted on due process in awarding the final documents and petroleum prospecting licenses (PPL) to the winners. The federal government has earned 174 billion naira so far after signature bonuses were fully paid for 119 awards earlier this year, with 9 others partially paid for, while 33 awards were not paid for. Speaking on the bid closure, the Commission's Chief Executive, Mr. Gbenga Komolafe, said this will be done in a manner that shows strict adherence to the rules guiding approvals and issuance of licenses in the upstream sector of the nation's oil and gas industry. Komolafe, who hinted in May 2022 that the issuance of the final documents may happen this month, harped on the need for the regulator to ensure that law and due process were followed in the award of licenses to operators. He stated that under his leadership, no marginal fuel operator would be allowed to trade in papers issued by the organization. Finland has expressed interest in taking advantage of Nigeria's huge gas deposits, stating that it was looking for avenues to diversify its energy sources. This followed the decision of the European Union member countries to end their dependence on Russian gas and seek alternative gas suppliers over the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. Disclosing this during an interview with journalists on Thursday, the Finland Minister for Foreign Affairs, Pekka Haavisto, said his country was also interested in exploring the education sector as well as renewable energy and other economic opportunities in Nigeria and other African countries. Haavisto, who hosted the Nordic Africa high-level ministerial meeting attended by several African countries, also explained that he held discussions with his Nigerian counterpart Geoffrey Onyama on youth education, employment and economic development. Responding to a question from newsmen on the EU's plan to get gas from Nigeria, the minister stated, "We had Nigerian foreign minister visiting Finland and other African foreign ministers, and we had bilateral discussions on energy, oil and gas, as well as environmental impacts of oil production." Nigeria is ready to collaborate with the Philippines to address oil supply issues amid rising global fuel prices due to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Nigerian ambassador to Philippines said earlier today, Nigeria, one of the world's largest producer of oil, can help stabilize oil supply and prices in the Philippines. Folakemi Akileye said in a press conference after her courtesy visit to President-elect Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Akileye said no formal plans have been drafted about the possible oil collaboration between Nigeria and the Philippines, as the country needs to look at modalities. Nigeria is ready to collaborate and do some work with the Philippines, she said, noting that Nigeria is also the third largest producer of natural gas in the world. Italy's energy firm Eni said earlier today that Russian energy giant Gazprom was reducing its gas supplies to Italy by 50%. In recent weeks, Moscow has reduced or cut off gas deliveries to several European Union countries, which have imposed sanctions on Russia over its invasion of Ukraine. French network operator GRT Gas also said earlier today that France has not received any Russian gas via Germany since 15th May, citing the effect of reduced Russian supply. Russian officials blamed maintenance issues at the Nord Stream 1 pipeline from Russia to Germany. Italy gets around 40% of its imported gas from Russia, though it is trying to reduce this reliance. France gets around 17% of its gas from Russia through network connections with Germany. Godwin Emefiele, governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN), has asked the Nigeria Ports Authority (NPA) and the Nigeria Customs Service (NCS) to collaborate on the creation of a dedicated route for non-oil exports. He said this on Thursday at the Apex Bank's RT200 Non-Oil Export Summit held in Lagos. Emefiele said due to unnecessary delays at Nigerian ports, some of the country's exporters have opted to take their goods to neighboring countries such as Ghana and Benin Republic. We are just lucky to have Nigeria Port Authority and Customs here. I want to appeal to both parties that we form and establish a working group comprising the Bankers Committee, Nigeria Port Authority, Nigeria's Customs Service, and maybe a shipping line to resolve issues, Emefiele said. Before we end the news, here's a recap of our headlines. Fuel scarcity, federal government approves upward review of freight rates for marketers. Oil field bids, NUPRC to award licenses transparently. Finland expresses interest in Nigeria's gas deposits. And that's the news. I am Naomi Oleribe. Good evening.